The New Orleans Pelicans made a bold move by trading for center DeMarcus Cousins 2 seasons ago to pair him with Anthony Davis, as they had the 2 best big men in the league on the same team. Everyone knew it wasn't going to be enough time for the team to gel together to make a playoff run that season. But going into last season was going to be the true test to see if having 2 great big men on the same team could work well enough to compete for a title in today's NBA. It seemed that one of the 2, or even both, put up monster numbers every night. But Anthony Davis took a big step in proving not only is he the best big man in the game, but one of the best players in the league. He's the guy who could take over the #1 spot in no time. Davis had hands down his best season in his short career. He averaged around 28 points, 11 rebounds, 2.5 blocks, and 1.5 steals per game while shooting 51% from the field. Davis was a candidate for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. He was selected to the All-NBA First Team and All-Defensive First Team, proving he's the best 2-way player in the league right now. And he only missed 7 games also, which is huge for Anthony Davis. Cousins also had an amazing season, but even though both played out of their minds, the Pelicans wasn't winning as much as they should have been. They had just gotten on the road before Cousins went down with a devastating Achilles injury, which ended his season and delayed his chance to play in the playoffs for the first time. But the Pelicans wasted no time and traded for the stretch 4, Nikola Mirotic, and it seemed that their offense flowed a little better, and Jrue Holiday had more opportunities without Cousins and looked like an all-star again. The Pelicans had the most success in the playoffs since changing their name. They swept the Blazers and got 1 game against the Warriors in the 2nd round. Things were looking up for the Pelicans going into the offseason. The big question this offseason was, is it worth going into luxury tax by signing Boogie to a big contract when they appear to not be a championship contender? And were they actually better without Cousins? The Pelicans decided not to bring DeMarcus Cousins back, and they couldn't work out a deal for their starting point guard, Rajon Rondo. They instead brought in 2 players from the 2014 draft class, Julius Randle and Elfrid Payton. You could say that Julius Randle was the best player on the Lakers last season. He completely transformed his body over the summer and went into last season in the best shape of his career. He averaged around 16 points, 8 rebounds on 55% shooting. Randle doesn't bring much from the outside though. 87% of his shot attempts came inside the paint. Randle coming off the bench for the Pelicans is the best move. Keep Mirotic and his outside shooting in a starting lineup alongside Anthony Davis. Elfrid Payton has had a mediocre career so far. He has had a number of games where you could see him being a key player on a winning team, but for the most part, he has been more of a problem than a solution. He hasn't been a good outside shooter, and despite being regarded as a good defender by draft scouts, Payton has been everything but. There was a report that Elfrid Payton ranked as one of the worst defenders in the league last year. Maybe a change of scenery is just what he needs. Being around a superstar like Davis and an all-star level player like Holiday could do wonders for Payton. The Orlando Magic seem to have a problem developing young players, and Payton could be the latest example if he can turn his career around. As I said earlier, Jrue Holiday got more opportunities after Cousins went down with an injury. He seemed to have more confidence and swagger going into the second half of the season. That confidence carried over in the first round of the playoffs against Damian Lillard. To say that Holiday put the clamps on first-team All-NBA Damian Lillard will be an understatement. I never seen a player frustrate Lillard like Jrue Holiday did. Lillard went from scoring around 27 points per game in the regular season to scoring only 18 while shooting 35% from the field and 30% from 3, while also turning the ball over 4 times a game. Holiday was selected to the All-Defensive First Team. Alvin Gentry seemed committed to starting E'Twaun Moore as an undersized small forward, which can be a problem on some nights, especially when they play a team like Golden State. I will put the 6'8" Darius Miller at the starting 3 spot, but I can understand why he isn't because of his struggles defensively from time to time. But Miller has shown progress on that end of the floor. Solomon Hill could get a shot to start at small forward, as he's coming off a torn hamstring last season in which he played only 12 games. The Pelicans are still waiting on Shaq Diallo to turn his potential into consistent production. There were opportunities for him to show up and give good minutes after Cousins got hurt, but he ended up being a big disappointment. This upcoming season may be his last chance to prove he's worthy to stick in this league. Even without Rondo and Cousins, I believe the Pelicans are still in good shape to return back to the playoffs. When you have a once-in-a-generation type of player like Anthony Davis, and an all-star like Jrue Holiday, it's hard for me to count you out of the playoffs.